Hi everybody, Big T here. You know, some people think it's cool to spray paint, but those people are addicts. It's never just one can. Spray paint is a disease, and it will destroy your life. So remember, next time someone offers you a quick little spray paint, just say no. Or you could develop a problem.
Hey everybody, it's Tammy. At the beginning of last year, I made a video where I showed off a bunch of custom Metru-Matoran that I had made, and these guys are particularly tricky to make because their colour schemes are completely off from most of the Matoran that we know and love, and they all have these annoying little silver accents on the top of their masks. But I managed to get quite a few out, and you guys seem to like them, so today I'm back with I think more than twice as many as I had before. So let's jump right in. There's quite a lot to get through, so I'm going to take them village by village. Starting off, I am very pleased to right a terrible wrong with my first video in that it could not feature any Po-Matoran due to me not having a suitable tan paint. I am really pleased to have resolved that and can now present to you Huki. We know him mostly as a great Cody player and a Tower of Stone, but on Metru Nui he harboured a different type of sporting craft in that he manufactured discs for the sport of Akalini. But I've decided to give him this random hockey paddle piece because it just looked really nice. The hands and mask are obviously available in the 2003 Huki set. I haven't been able to find a decent burnt orange paint, so I've just had to kind of stick with the existing medium brown feet for now. Thankfully our next Po-Matoran has a much more straightforward colour scheme, because it's Kivi! Kivi has the distinction of being one of the few characters from Nog to be rendered in CGI in one of the Ta-Matoran promo CDs. There he's a chute attendant at station 445, and I think the brown paint job on his mask here looks really good, if perhaps a touch glossy. He was intended to have come out in Nog 2, but due to a misspelling in the coding, the game shows the default mask, the Cow. Nuri is also a victim of this issue. Nonetheless, it's very nice to have a tan and brown Matoran. Next up we have a fan-beloved character and master carver, Hafu, who... What the hell is that? That's just a clone of Akmu. Templar Studios, what is the meaning of this? Hashtag not my Hafu. So I think we can all agree to ignore that little mess up and accept that this is the one true Hafu. This is thankfully a fairly straightforward build, and the mask is really common, so you can spray paint as many as you like. Also, if I take the mask from Kalama from the previous video, I can make Piatra, so that's neat. I'm glad to finally have some Metru-Matoran. I was slightly hampered by the lack of dark orange spray paint because a whole bunch of Matoran have that colour. But next up, we've got quite a lot of Matoran from Ta-Metru. Firstly, here's a quick update to Jala. I just decided to keep his mask monochromatic because I could use it for other things and it sticks to the movie style. Next up, we have future Tokoro Guard and one of the earliest Matoran we actually meet, and that's Agni. The mask is spray painted and I think he looks really striking. The mirror is something of an underrated mask I think on Matoran. Next up we have Branda, sort of. This is how Branda would appear based on his look from Metru Nui Online Game 2, but in the Ta-Metru CD there is a completely different Matoran with this name who we actually see in one of the Bo-Rock Cow animations and has no name. It's all a bit of a mess, and so naturally I have to just assume that there are two Ta-Matoran called Branda. Anyway, this one's kind of cheating in a way. It's completely made of pure bits because it's using the mask from Tahuti, but it's always nice to be able to reuse that piece. Moving on to something a little bit different, we've got the Karma, mostly orange as he very clearly appears to be in the movie. He canonically wears a great Huna before his transformation, so that's what I've given him here. But I've also kept the dark red accents. I didn't bother spray painting the top of the mask because I just thought it would look a bit off, but I might do that in the future. And if you're not too hot on this mask, I might just have something more to your liking in a future video. But back to the here and now, we have a couple of Matoran with really fun colour schemes. First up we've got Eden. I still don't know how to pronounce that name. But then inverting that colour scheme with a custom painted pair of yellow feet and a striking red mask, it's Tiri Bomba! You guys really like Tiri Bomba from the first Metrutoran Madness video I did, so I thought I'd bring him back. I even went to the effort of spray painting a bright red mask with a silver accent when it really wasn't necessary because the dark red version from the Nuri set works just fine. On to Garkoro now, and Amaya, who is the first character we meet in Nog 2. I have to admit this one's kind of cheating given that it mostly just uses parts from the Vizola set, even though we're more familiar with her being regular blue. This is technically accurate to how she's shown in CGI, but I think this is more of a mistake by Templar than anything else. But if I replace it with something a bit more vibrant, we get Kotu. Kotu was one of the many students in Ga-Metru, and she was probably still a kiss-ass there as well. Another Matoran who mostly uses parts from the Vizola set, and that's Pelagia. She's notable for being pretty much the only Ko-Matoran on Matanui who uses dark blue prominently, which I think makes her work particularly well in the Metru-Nui colour scheme, and I think this painted mask looks pretty cool as well. But last up, but by no means least, it's our favourite stargazer and possibly occasional criminal, Nixie. She features every shade of blue, from her feet all the way up to her mask, which I totally didn't just steal from Takua. If I had more Kakamas to paint, I would have made Nairita or Kai, but don't worry, their day will come. A quick shout out to Marker as well, whose colour scheme seems to be just all over the place during her various appearances. We're on to Onu-Matoran now, and Azebo, who I think is the only other Onu-Matoran who uses Naparu's colour scheme. Even if I have to admit, I think the Onu-Matoran have too many colours going on. The orange looks really nice on Azebo here. And then we're going monochromatic with Aitoro. A splash of silver is quite welcome here, but I'm going to have to take his mask off quite quickly because I need it for another Matoran. But it's okay because I've got this lovely black howl to create Zemia. The paint job on this mask is actually a little bit lopsided, but I really like both effects, so I just like to pose him at an angle. And now I'm going to pillage the bodies of the Po-Matoran to really beef up the numbers, because we're finally going to create Tapu! That's what I needed the black Ruru for. Although I will give Hafu and Tapu just a chance to swap their masks over back and forth, just for those who want to see that. And then another Onu-Matoran with a splash of orange, it's Dosne! The orange, tan and black is an unusual colour scheme, but he shared it with one other Matoran in Monog 2, and that's Mamoru, who ironically does not wear it here, because he featured a black Mahiki in Monog 1 and I am reflecting that. If I can get the eyes to light up right on camera, this should look really striking. But I'm going to have to at least partially disassemble Azebo and Zemia now, because I've got a shortage of black Metru torsos, which sounds familiar for some reason, I can't think why. Anyway, this is Kaj, one of our purpley boys, and you can bet your ass that if I had enough Miru spare, I would have done Damek as well. And then finally we've got Maidak, who I am interpreting to be all black, but it's a little bit difficult to tell because his only appearance was in Monog, where the colour schemes were a bit screwy. We're getting near the end now as we visit the Matoran. First is a slight update to Kongu from the previous video. I've got a slightly updated teal paint, so I have been able to give him another mask. Unlike Jala, I kept it monochromatic just to fit in with the colour scheme of the movie more. It's a shame that Kongu seems to be literally the only Matoran with a lime body. And then we have Makani. Makani is solid green, and I thought it was just funny that this Matoran that looks so much like Orcam, but isn't. I just had to make him, but unfortunately I don't have Orcam to compare him with because I might have painted all of my green torsos. But I did use my updated turquoise paint to create Thule, one of the very few Matoran who actually appeared in CGI. Don't worry, I haven't printed this misprint mask. And then I'm going to jazz up Makani's green colour scheme by adding a bit of lime and creating Vera, who is the other Matoran featured in CGI, and I really like this colour scheme, it's lovely. I'm so pleased with how this mask came out. We'll come back to the Matoran in a moment, but first I'm going to put them on ice to go and see the Ko-Matoran, because we've got a few more than last time now. I've got a slight update to Matoro. Using the metallic blue paint that I used for Kulis's mask, I got something a lot closer for the foot colour this time, so I think that's pretty good. And then using a light blue and again nicking Takua's mask, I'm able to create Jatiko, who looks pretty good, but I think it's a little bit more exciting to people if I switch the mask out and create Ko-Peak, who we all know and love. Although there has been some argument as to whether the Ko-Matoran are supposed to be light blue or sand blue, and having recently gone back and looked at the Toa Metru promo CDs, it's obvious that they are actually supposed to be sand blue. So I'm going to have to go back and repaint some things, I think. But I decided to lean into the colour screwiness a little bit and use silver to substitute for light grey, which is great because it meant I could create Lumi here, who looks really nice. But the other benefit of using silver, of course, is that the torso also came in that colour, which means I can create Kokan, and I am choosing to pronounce that Kokan. So yeah, I was quite surprised with how many Ko-Matoran I was able to create. We'll move back to the Matoran now, because if I take Thule's turquoise torso and change out the limbs, we can create Tamaru, everyone's favourite Matoran who's actually scared of flying. I'm so pleased to finally be able to create Tamaru, he's just such an icon! And wait a minute, maybe I can make another Matoran with Kongu's torso after all, because in Monog 1 you can see for a split second a Gukko pilot with a lime body and green mask and feet, and damn it, I'm gonna make them. There you go, that's cool to have. And then last of all, we can take Vera and turn him from a green Matoran with a Picari to a green Matoran with a Picari. This is Sanso, one of the musicians. And with that, we have the whole roster that I have to show you today of Metru-Matoran. There are more I could make if I just didn't stick to using silver topped masks, or if I was prepared to just paint even more, but I think you get the point. I think they look great. I hope you've enjoyed looking at them. If you want to see even more Matoran though, you can check out the Bionicle database of studio models, where I have created digital versions of basically every Matoran we know of, and you can also check out the playlist showing on the screen now. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!